It's a war of all against all. The history of humanity is a book written in blood. We're all just animals in a pit.
I feel very sad. so kind, would you mind introducing yourself for the mic?
Sure, Drew from Weekend Nachos.
And right now we are in Brooklyn, around the corner from Saint Vitus, where you guys are playing a very, very sold out show.
Pretty crazy.
And like the show has been sold out since like February or something ridiculous like that, right?
Yeah, I think like 3 months or something, which like has definitely never happened before. Like I think we've played New York probably once a year for the last 5 years, and it's always a good show, but never anything like this. But I guess that's what comes with it being the end.
Okay. I mean, but you guys have also like built up like a pretty good like reputation over the years. Like,
I mean, we get around, so I think people are used to seeing us, but I think that also plays into it, is that for all of these places, everywhere where we're kind of going this last year is, for the most part, places we've been before that are all, generally pretty good shows, but now that there's a sense of finality to it, I think, like last night in Cleveland, for instance, we play Cleveland pretty often because it's, not that far away from Chicago, and there were a lot of people that I have seen over the years come see us, but this time kind of even the people that maybe drifted away from it or were like, they'll be back, I'll see them next time, like all the faces came because it was the last time. So I think that maybe the show would have been packed out, but I can't imagine if it was just like the Apology record release tour, it would have been a sold out show necessarily,
Right. Speaking of places that you've played before, we've actually met once before in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, of all places, where you played, I believe, last month, right?
Yeah, and that was an insane show.
Yeah, and you guys did quite a few dates around Southeast Asia as well as like Japan, I think?
Yeah, we did. We were in Japan for 10 days. We played 8 shows maybe. And then we flew from Japan to Manila, did Johor Bahru, Kuala Lumpur, and then Singapore. And it was amazing. It was a very hot, very sleep-deprived time, but like the shows were incredible.
How did the tour come about? Was it the Japanese dates were booked first, and then some guys from Southeast Asia got in touch with you?
Well, once we got together, I guess it was probably towards like the fall of last year, we kind of had like a band sit down, and we're kind of like, we've been doing this for a long time, and we're all good friends, but we're all kind of being pulled in different directions by life, like not in a bad way, not in like a resentful way, just kind of like, hey, like, recording's really taken off for Andy, so taking weeks and especially weekends are like the money time for recording bands. It's just getting, like harder and harder to get this in, and I, for the first time in my life, have like a job I actually enjoy doing. Brian has a pretty good job now and has a house and a wife, so we're kind of just all being pulled. So we kind of got together and talked about it, and like I think we could keep doing the band, but we'd end up like with a lot of sort of beef with each other, like, what do you mean, I want to do this, why the hell can't you do it, why can't I do it? So we decided, like, let's do a final year, let's go back to some of the places that we had a blast, and we had been talking about going to Southeast Asia since 2012, and it kind of just never quite lined up. We played in Prague with Tools of the Trade and met those guys there on our European tour that year, and kind of like, I mean, we honestly had no idea that people gave a shit about our band in Southeast Asia at that point, so to like meet these guys and have them be excited, immediately my brain was like, I definitely never, I never thought I'd play a show in fucking LA, nonetheless Europe, where I meet these guys from Southeast Asia who are talking to us about playing there. So as soon as that like bell went off as a possibility, I was like, we gotta go here, we gotta go here, we gotta go here. And just like timing wise, it never worked out. And then the next, we went Wormrod a couple times, and like the same story, they were just kind of like, like, people know about your band, like you should come. And so finally when we sat down and we're talking about like what needs to happen in this final year, Southeast Asia was on the list, and we went to Japan for the first time in 2015, and we really had a great time there. So we all agreed, like, okay, let's definitely go back, let's do US shows, let's go back to Japan, let's go back to Europe, and it just made sense to pull Southeast Asia into the Japan run. So,
and you guys had never been to Asia before, right?
Nope, never. It was sort of just a like shock. Never having been there, you never know what to expect, and every show was just like amazing, and like the people were like excited, and all the promoters were like so gracious, and everybody like, you know, I feel like, you know, the States is pretty saturated in terms of like bands and stuff, so people were like really appreciative that like, you know, we made it there, because it is, I mean, it's a fucking long haul from Chicago.
Yeah. And especially like what you were talking about before, where it's like, oh, maybe I'll see them the next time, maybe I'll see them the next time. When a band like Weekend Nachos comes to Malaysia, it's like, this is it. This might be like the last time we ever see them.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only time we'll ever see them. Yeah. So kids like really come out and like really, it's kind of like, all, you know, they're all in. You know?
Yeah. Everyone was like fucking going crazy, but also super nice at the same time. Like you get, you know, like some people where you're just like, oh, this guy's just like a weird maniac, I'm just gonna like get the hell away from him, kind of. But these were people who like, when you played, it was like total chaos, but in between bands when you're talking, it was like, you could tell that like everyone in the scene there like really like knows each other well and takes care of each other and cares about what's going on, which was cool, because that's not always the case, sadly.
I mean, I don't know if you heard about this, but one of the reasons why there's that scene is like so close is because a lot of them ended up in jail together. About
which is
like
crazy.
8 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like all that made it to America about that was like people from out there posting about it on Facebook. Like, I think for the most part, I never would have known if I hadn't been friends with like the guys from Tools and stuff. But yeah, like we're definitely lucky in a way that like here, you know, that kind of stuff definitely doesn't go on.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also important, like, when guys like you, like, come over to Malaysia and play a place like Rumah Api, which is under, like, that kind of political pressure, like, it soaks the fires, you know what I mean? Like, it keeps the scene going. And so that's, like, another reason why we're so appreciative that you guys came.
Yeah. I mean,
in terms of expectations, like, what were you expecting?
honestly, like, you know, like you have, like, the people, like, at my job or something that, like, know that I'm in a band that goes places, but they think, like, you know, if you're going to Europe, when you're there, like, how many people are in your crew and what kind of bus do you have? Like, that, you know, really just, like, don't get it and think it's going to be super cushy everywhere we go and stuff.
Well, in fairness, like, you were on a big bus from, like, Singapore to Malaysia. It wasn't a tour bus. It was, like, a regular, like...
That was an amazing bus. It was freezing fucking cold, which was incredible, because it was... Chicago's a pretty cold place, so... It was a definite shock to the system weather-wise, so to sit in a frigid bus for a couple hours felt real good.
We go a little bit overboard with the air conditioning in Southeast Asia.
I loved it. But, I mean, we kind of have... I still have no real expectation when we go somewhere for the first time. Like, I know it sounds, like, corny or something, but, you know, you like, start playing punk songs with your friends and, like... for literally no reason, basically, you know, and to, like, be able to go to, like I said, like, I never thought we'd play a show in LA, nonetheless, Kuala Lumpur. So, I mean, just the fact that, like, people from all around the world are willing to, like, work together to make something happen for us is crazy. So, I mean, whatever happened. I was just stoked. I never thought I would ever go there, nonetheless play a show there. So, we were just excited to go, and then it turned out way beyond our wildest expectations. I mean, the shows were really, really, really well attended, and people were going crazy. It was awesome.
What surprised you the most?
Honestly, that people, this is like a wimpy American guy sentiment maybe, but like with how like punishingly hot and humid it is, that like, you know, you get to a show like I think the Kuala Lumpur show was 7 bands played, and people had high energy for the, you know, like 4 or 5 hours in 110 degree heat with 100% humidity. It was raining outside, and like there was never a dip in like anyone's enthusiasm for a second, and that was like amazing. I mean, like, so cool.
What advice do you have for any bands that want to tour Southeast Asia, or maybe going in like the next couple of years?
The only thing that I really like regret about our trip had to do with just kind of the realities of the regular life stuff that kind of is why it is our final year, is that, you know, for instance, I maximum my job would give me off at a time was 2 weeks. So to do all the shows, we didn't have any off days. So I really wish we would have like played a show in Manila, had a day off in Manila, flew to Johor Bahru, played, had a day off. Same thing, like every day have a day to go experience the city. That's like the weirdest thing about touring is I talk to people and they're like, "Oh, you've been everywhere. Like, what's your favorite restaurant in Berlin?" And it's like, I don't know. I like ate at this venue, made spaghetti for me. Like we were there. We've been there. I love it there. We have great friends there. We've played great shows there. But you only see a couple hours of each place. So I really wish that we had been able to spend some more time to like. It was cool to see what the scene is about there, but I kind of still, even though I visited, I have no idea necessarily what like Malaysia is all about in general.
What about gear and stuff like that? Were you guys traveling pretty light as you were coming through?
We had some merch made, luckily, through being friends with Tools. Emmy got us some shirts screened, so we didn't have to carry those across on our flights or anything. So really all we brought was like guitars, effects pedals, cymbals, and a snare drum. So we were traveling really light, and everywhere had like a great setup. We were able to play nice and fucking loud like we always do, and felt good.
as we're recording this, it's May 20th, and Apology comes out today, which is the last record.
Yeah, really stoked with how it turned out, and honestly, like, really fucking surprised that we have it in time for these shows. We got together like last fall and kind of probably like November and kind of talked about what we were gonna do, what we wanted to do, and I was pushing really hard to like at least record like a final 7-inch or something, you know, just to have something, you know, one more thing. And I personally was just pushing for the 7-inch. I didn't know, you know, how much people would want to do if we were calling it a day. Like, you know, committing to writing an LP is hard work and takes some real time. And we started writing around Christmas time, like the end of December maybe, and recorded it 14 songs, I'm pretty sure. Wrote and recorded 15 songs by the end of February. And with the way like pressing plants and shit are these days, like people were telling us like it might take like 6 months or something to have records, and we were like, fuck, all of these things we want to do, there's going to be no vinyl. And we were able to get a special sort of like Asia, Japan tour CD out with Cosmic Note, who booked our Japanese tours both time, did in 2 weeks pressed up CDs for us for the tour, which was amazing. And Bob from Deep Six, who's done our last 4 LPs, like literally we sent him the mastered files and he drove to the pressing plant to get lacquers cut and like told them like, we absolutely must have, you know, 200 copies of this record pressed, you know, by the first week of May. And they agreed, and we actually ended up, we have 400 copies of the record for the tour, which is like unbelievable. So like when we left Thursday morning to like pick up this final record and look at it, like it's really a shock a little bit that the physical product made it. Just from all aspects of like writing it under a crunch, and like you never know what's gonna come out. Like when it's the end, people could have like phoned it in, but I think I'm really happy with how it came out. At least I don't want to toot my own fucking horn too much, but like I'm proud of the record.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely doesn't sound phoned in. I wasn't that familiar with you guys, like, before you played Malaysia, but, I mean, I think the record's awesome. And
thanks,
man.
Man.
Dylan from Full of Hell did a song. Dylan's a dude who, like, I've met a couple times, and, like...
Awesome guy.
Fucking, yeah, he's an awesome guy, and his voice is just, like, fucking, like, evil, and, like, you know...
It sounds... His part sounds disgusting. It's, like, the best way I can describe it. Like, it's just, like, awful in this perfect fucking way. Which is, like, that's Full of Hell to me. They're, like, this just, like... It's, like, this, like... harsh, bad thing that like just like feels so good because it's like so fucked up.
And you've got a couple people making appearances on the album, but I think one of the like really special things is that last song, the title track with the piano. Mike Kinsella, is that the guy's name?
Yep. Yeah, he's just been a long time friend of mine. He does well making music, and it's really nothing like our music, but we don't let that get in the way. We just thought it'd be cool to collaborate with friends. So we sent him just like a shitty practice space demo of the song with like a loud ass click track, so he could just record, you know, whatever you feel, just record, and we'll just like pick through it and put what we want on there. And we were all sitting in the studio after we laid down the like principal tracks to that song or whatever, and we're sifting through his things, and we heard that piano part, and we were just like, holy shit, like it's really, really cool to have somebody come up with something that like, you know, someone not in your band who does not come from a heavy music background at all, come up with something that like totally fits like how you feel with like this song that you wrote, but something that you never would have come up with yourself. It's like really cool to collaborate with somebody in that way.
And the song came together beautifully. And like, you know, this being like the last album, and you know, the song itself is called Apology, and it's like you've got that piano like over the heavy guitars. It's like it really is just like this really heavy like emotional thing like at the end of the album.
Yeah, I feel like it gets like some nice catharsis there.
So let's talk about the end.
Deal.
If you don't mind.
No. What's?
What did you like most about Weekend Nachos? What did you like most about the experience?
I just loved like going places with my friends. Honestly, like to just take off in a van or like get in a plane and go somewhere crazy with just like 3 people that like over time, you know, I mean, we're not related, but we're like, you know, a decade deep, we're brothers, you know, just like to sort of throw off everything normal, you know, like a world where all of a sudden the only responsibility is like, all right, like we just got to get to the show and play it, and then we got to get to the next show and play it, and it's just is great. And playing live, just, you know, people have talked to John and I a lot of times, like, your band is like such like a angry, crazy thing, and like you guys seem like nice and you like make jokes and stuff, and it's like, yeah, man, we like get all the fucking bullshit that brings me down and pisses me off. Like every time we play a show, I can just spit it fucking out on the stage and then just be a well-adjusted human being in my normal life, you know? Like it's like a awesome traveling therapy session or something.
What do you want people to remember about you? Not you, like, specifically, because you're going to be around and people will talk to you. But.
I'm not dying.
I'm so sorry you have to find out this winter, but your results are back and it's all looking good.
Fuck. Yeah, I just hope that I hope that people can see that, you know, whether they love what we did or not or whatever, like we really gave a shit about this thing that we were doing, and we did it our way the whole time. And I think like that's at the end of the day what I'm most proud of, is that like we, as we like got bigger and did things like go to Malaysia or go to Japan or go to Europe, all of those opportunities came out of like meeting people and becoming friends with them. Like there was never like, all right, we're giving like this guy $500 to like feature us on like this web page to get someone in Europe to notice us. We just like went out there and did our thing and met people and made friends. Speaking of friends, Joe from Cleveland.
I mean, like, in terms of remembering you, like, I think I'm going to see a Weekend Nachos shirt at every show in Malaysia for, like, you know, years and years and years to come. So.
And hopefully, you know, since an open invitation, we're not going to be able to come back, so somebody just fucking make those things so people can have them if they want them.
I will get the word out.
Go!
Weekend Nachos is wrapping up. You guys aren't wrapping up musically. Like you have a few
absolutely
projects.
not.
Do you want to talk about like Rats or Spine or anything?
Yeah, I can run down sort of the gamut of what we're all. I mean, and after whatever is next, I'm sure there'll be something else. I would fucking lose my mind if I didn't play music. I don't know that I'll be traveling in the way I always did, but I'll always be tinkering with something. But Andy, the Nachos guitarist, and I play in a band called Like Rats. It's more death metal, but I mean, it's still played by like a couple guys with like a punk background, I guess.
Like Rats, as in the Godflesh song?
That is where the name came from, but there's
already.
no musical similarity at all, just like a badass song. So Andy, who plays guitar in Nachos, plays bass, and I play drums. And we just had our second record come out on Southern Lord, which we're really stoked about. It's another band of a bunch of adults, so we'll play as much as we can, but I don't imagine we're going to be hitting the road for any like month-long U.S. release tour or anything. John, for the last couple of years, has been doing Spine with a couple guys that, you know, became really, really good friends of ours through bands that we used to do and Weekend Nachos, and he sort of just formed this, you know, every couple months he takes a 8-hour bus ride down to Kansas City and bangs out some new songs with these guys, and they go play, and I can't imagine there'll be any reason for him to stop doing that. It seems to just do better every time, and those guys are fantastic people. I have another sort of death metal band with Todd, who also plays guitar and is the main songwriter of Like Rats, and then James from Harm's Way, which is called Hate Force. It's kind of more just like a studio project thing. Andy has a new band that's actually playing. We finished this round of East Coast shows Monday night, drive 7 hours home from Pittsburgh, drop this van off, so probably get home in like the afternoon on Tuesday, and Andy's other new band, Belonger, plays their first show that night. So just like we're gonna have a full plate still. Just always playing, and I you know, hope we're always friends and always doing stuff with each other.
Excellent. And for anybody who wants Apology, they can get it through your Bandcamp page, right?
Yeah, Relapse has it up on there for us. We're kind of internet idiots, so Relapse has been really cool with helping us like get stuff on Spotify and get stuff on Bandcamp and get stuff on like iTunes and all those things that we just like. I couldn't wrap my head around that stuff in a million years, and they've been super cool with helping us with all that stuff and getting the CDs out like across the world. And then Deep Six, as usual, is doing the LP, which we have with us on tour now, and it's going out to distros as well now, so it should be starting to show up in stores everywhere too. And then Cosmic Note also has the Asian edition of the CD available too, so if people in Malaysia or wherever that didn't get a chance to grab one from us want to pick it up still, it'll probably be cheaper to get it from Cosmic Note than Relapse or something, because it'll be coming from closer at least.
So I'm not sure when exactly this is going to go online, but probably after your US tour, your East Coast tour finishes up. But people can still look forward to seeing you in Europe, right? In October?
Yep, we're doing Europe in October with the Afternoon Gentlemen, who are playing this East Coast tour with us, who are, no offense to the many other excellent grind and fast hardcore bands we played with, but there's literally no other band in the world right now that is as fucking good as them. So it's really awesome to be doing this stuff with them. They're pretty much my favorite fucking live hardcore band in the world.
Their Bandcamp page makes my workday go out so much faster.
Oh, they're so good. Have you been able to see them ever? Or
no,
tonight will be the first time, dude.
Yeah.
It's they as you can tell by their song titles and references, they love to drink, and I swear I've seen them like so drunk that they can barely talk or stand up, and then they just like get up and play and fucking embarrass us every night by being just like the tightest band on earth. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's fantastic. You're definitely like in for a serious treat. And Wormrot was going to be with us too, but they have their military calling, unfortunately. So 2 of the 3 guys got called up for their duty during the tour, unfortunately, which really sucks because we've been like in touch with them since they toured the States in 2011. Just, you know, being friendly, but again, the same kind of thing where we've talked about it, but it kind of never worked until these couple Southeast Asia shows that we did. So we were super stoked to do Europe with them, but it turned out that they couldn't come. But Doomstar, who set up these European shows, were cool enough to let us sort of pick a band from America of really good friends of ours called Homewrecker, who are gonna fill Wormrot's sizable shoes. So it should still be a pretty killer little package that we're all really looking forward to.
Excellent. Anything you want to say to the kids coming out in the next few weeks and months?
I guess I just, you know, want to stress that, you know, this is barring any, you know, like really legitimate reason to play, you know, like I'm definitely not going to say if like we have a friend who is in like a world of trouble or something, you know, and it's not like we're the biggest band in the world, but, you know, like $1,000 or something from us doing a benefit could like really turn the tides for something super important. Like this is probably it. So if we're, you know, unfortunate realities of life is that we can't get everywhere we would like to go. So if we come close, please come hang out with us one more time.
Cool. Thank you so much, Drew.
Oh, no sweat, man. Thank you.
These nachos rule.